Top 5 fries. I actually think my top fry is a shoestring fry. I like when you grab 7 fries at a time, or it's like a rake and you drag it through the sauce. Well, homemade French fries, I'm not breaking out the ketchup. No way. No, mayo. I'm an adult. Welcome back to another recipe drop, and today we're making clam frites. Clam with fries, just like steak frites. For people who know me well, clams are generally one of my favorite things to eat. They come pre-seasoned, they're cheap relatively and easy to cook, but yet they feel elegant and celebratory. Luckily, I didn't even have to go to the store this morning. With the Shipt app, my Target Circle 360 membership offers same-day delivery on whatever fresh ingredients I need, my parsley, lemon, even my clams, from tons of local and national stores with no price markups. Excluding select alcohol retailers and items and terms apply, I can generally find whatever it is I'm looking for, which means I can spend more time cooking and less time going from grocery store to grocery store. And it's exclusive to Target Circle 360 members using Shipt for delivery, so if you haven't signed up yet, you know what to do. Now, where did I put my, oh no, did I forget the potatoes? Has anybody seen my potatoes?
Looking for these?
What would we do without Shipt? So Target Circle 360 members, order through Shipt now to get your own same-day delivery with no price markup at shipt.com/360. That's shipt.com/360. So the first thing you have to do in basically any clam recipe is purge the clams. I have little necks here. That's basically just a size distinction. They're about like an inch and a half across, and the smaller the clam, also the more tender the clam meat. But to purge the clam, what we do is we add the clams to salt water. It's frankly like a cruel joke that we're playing on the clams. They think because the water they're in is salty that they're back in the ocean, and they start trying to filter feed, and they'll spit out any sand or dirt or grime that they're holding on to. They're in survival mode right now because they're out of the water, and we're gonna like put them at ease and make them think that nothing bad is gonna happen to them. I just add enough water to cover, and then I add what frankly could be seen as a crazy amount of salt. Like when they say with pasta water, it should be salty like the ocean, this actually should be salty like the ocean. So I will pop this in the fridge to rest for about 30 minutes. Hopefully they will be clean and grit-free for us. In the meantime, I'm gonna get to work on my French fries. What can I say about the humble potato? There is almost nothing more delicious than a homemade, hand-cut French fry. Sometimes I like to keep the skin on. I think when you're doing seafood, it's a little bit more refined, a little bit more elegant to peel the potato, but we're still gonna keep our cuts pretty thick. It's better to go rustic when you're frying French fries at home. It's about the thickness I'm shooting for. See, pretty thick, but again, it'll shrink. And then I'll cut this into smaller, even pieces. You definitely want a starchier rather than waxier potato for fries. Okay, so very important, we will get these into cold water to soak for at least 30 minutes, but up to overnight. And all this is gonna do is remove some of that excess surface starch, give us really even browning when we go to fry these. And also we'll just make sure that these don't oxidize and go brown in the meantime. So these potatoes have been soaking for about 30, 40 minutes. I've drained them, and now I'll just make sure they are super dry. Oil and water famously don't mix. We do not want to add super wet French fries to a pot of hot oil. I have a Dutch oven full of neutral oil here. It should be at about 250, 275. We will work in batches. We don't want to overcrowd the oil, otherwise the temperature is going to drop and these are not going to cook evenly. So I'll just drop a potato at a time into the oil. We're starting at a lower temperature than you normally would because we are double frying these French fries. And the reason we do that is this first cook, we're literally just cooking them through and setting the outside crust so that when we're ready to do the final fry, they crisp up really quickly and evenly, and they have that perfect fluffy interior texture with an even golden brown exterior crunch. You can kind of see the way that the texture on the outside changes, like it starts to ridge in places, and it kind of changes color a little bit. I mean, this is a raw one, right? See how it's shrank in size and how the color is kind of darkened a little bit. And if you let it cool, you can just feel that it's starting to get softer. You don't want to overcook them at this stage. So after about 3 to 5 minutes, once these are tender and the outside is starting to set, I'll just drain them on a wire rack. Oh, also, this is key safety information. Whenever you're dropping something into hot oil, always drop away from you. So that way if the oil does splash, it'll splash that way and not on you. It's so much safer to just get your finger as close as possible and let it drop like that. If you drop it from here, it's gonna splash back at you, and that's no good. So we've given these potatoes their first fry. I will just let these cool to room temperature before we do our second fry to get them crispy. In the meantime, we'll start working on steaming our clams. So these clams have been purging for about 30 minutes. The best thing to do at this stage is use a spider like this to lift them out of this water. If you were to drain this off into a colander, all that sand that you just worked to get rid of is coming right with it. So I'll try to gently pull these clams out without disturbing the water too much. If you see a clam like this, that's cracked, busted open, don't eat it. It's dead. It's not good for you. But you can kind of see like how nasty this water is. That's what we don't want to eat. I'm gonna go give these a rinse. I have a lidded skillet here. That's important because we want these clams to steam with the aromatics and the white wine. All I have as far as aromatics, shallot and garlic. We'll add a little bit of lemon, parsley, butter, all the good things that you want to eat with clams. Really the goal here is just to perfume the dish. So for a couple pounds of clams, we'll use 1 shallot and like 3 to 4 cloves of garlic. So cooking clams, steaming them in white wine, is super simple. You just start with a little butter or oil, medium-high heat, add in those aromatics, just get a little heat on those, infuse that butter. And before these get any color, we'll just add our clams. It's so loud. This is like the loudest pan I've ever used in my entire life. What is happening? The worst thing that we could do with these clams is overcook them. So everything's gonna happen kind of fast. As soon as these open, they're done. And that should take like 5, 6, 7 minutes maybe. The only liquid I'll add to steam these open is about a 1/4 cup of white wine. I don't add too much wine because once we put the lid on these and let them steam out, the clams are gonna release a lot of their own very flavorful liquid and we'll be left with a delicious broth that you can, dip your fries in. So we'll let that hang out 5 minutes or so. Clams are ready and they are just about all open. That's a good sign. Generally, if some of your clams don't open, that could mean they're dead. I would just let them cook for another couple minutes. And if, say after like 10 minutes, you have a clam that's not opening, probably dead, you probably don't want to eat it. Oh, we have one that didn't open. At this point, we're gonna call this guy dead. Rest in peace. So to finish, I've cut the heat. We're just gonna add about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and then just a couple tablespoons of fresh parsley. These clams are perfectly cooked. Now we're just gonna work on finishing up our French fries, the second fry. Now we're actually going to try to get these golden brown and crispy, which is what everybody loves about French fries in the first place. So this is a very important step. Our oil here is hot, around 350, 375, and I will just again work in batches. Now for dipping, this is a pickled chili mayo, so all we need is some mayo and pickled chilies. This is cherry pepper hoagie spread, one of my favorite super flavorful condiments. And then just lemon juice. Give that a stir, set that to the side. Once the fries are nice and even and golden brown, super crispy all over, we'll just drain them on a wire rack. And then super important, while they're still hot and sizzling like this salt is gonna stick and you're gonna get just much more even flavor distribution. Be generous. Our fries are done, our clams are steamed, we're ready to plate up. So I have something for the clams, something for the fries. It should be overflowing. And the clams, hot, just steamed open. And we cannot forget all of this beautiful garlicky white wine clam broth from the pan. Wow, guys, this looks delicious. It's everything I like. Pickled peppers, crispy French fries, white wine steamed clams. It's overwhelming, honestly. But the great thing about the fries, you can dip them in this pickled cherry pepper mayo that we've made, but you can also dip them in the clam broth, which might sound kind of gross, but it's actually very delicious. And then of course the clams themselves, that's knockout stuff. If you want to see more recipes like this, you should like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, TikTok. We're always making food, really delicious stuff, and I will see you guys next time.